This changes everything for Bitcoin. Does it? We'll be analyzing the pump that we've had in the last few hours, guys, getting above $93,000. Do we see the higher time frame downtrend broken already, and a full-on reversal is going to happen for the price of Bitcoin in the next coming weeks? Let's discuss that, guys, in today's episode. We'll be breaking down the higher time frame, zooming on the 1 hourly time frame, and obviously the 50-minute time frame to discuss this pump right over here. First of all, nothing in this video or any of my videos is financial advice or should be taken as investment financial advice, guys. I'm just a guide on the internet that is giving his own personal opinion and should be taken as educational content only. Now, yesterday we were discussing the bearish case scenario and how to create a plan basically on this downtrend. If we were to break above 87,700 successfully, it's a danger zone. This box that I have right over here, it's not there because of decoration. It's there to make you realize that this is a dangerous zone to look for shorts because you have that inefficiency right over here. You have that fair value gap. If you break this area, you could be breaking up in a wave 3 and get continuation to the upside. The only zone that needs to reject is this one right over here. If you do not reject, you look to get a great breakout, right? When you have these fair value gaps, if they are broken, you get a significant move, as you can see right over here. So that is explained on the stream as well. It's not about being right or wrong. It's knowing where to manage risk and where not to be positioned, right? Which has been explained. We had the possibility of this being a 3-wave structure, and maybe the price is going to break out. Maybe this ends up being a 3-wave structure, right? And whoever got into some long positions throughout the last 2 days at the $84,000 range, well, obviously it makes sense to hold some of that position just in case this turns out to be a 3-wave structure to the downside. Now let's break down here the higher time frames. Remember, if you are interested in trading, there is some links down below, guys. They are affiliate links. You get some great perks, okay, such as with Bluffin, BTCC, okay. Make sure to read the term and conditions as you do sign up with those affiliate links down below. Let's break down here, guys, the higher time frame because it's still intact. All right, the downtrend potential impulse to get continuation to the downside is still pretty much intact. All right, the invalidation for this is sitting at $97,000, where we are having from all-time high a wave 1, wave 2, wave 1 and 2, double 1, 2, your third wave, which is the largest one here with increasing volume. And here is our moment right now to detect if it is still going to be a corrective structure. That's when we zoom in on the 1 hourly time frame and detect the Elliot wave scenarios. Of course, when we do take a look at the levels of resistance, we do have the anchored VWAP from that lower high of the 27th of October. This is an important anchored VWAP, I have to say. From this pivot lower high right there of the 27th of October, it's coming in at $95,200. We also have a naked weekly point of control, which is from this consolidation right over here. When you get your fixed volume profile from Monday to Monday of 2 weeks ago, then you do have that big high volume node, which is also sitting around about $95,400. That is a big zone. And that is interesting because that is just slightly below the invalidation of your potential higher time frame wave 4, which is sitting at $97,000. The golden pocket, guys, from the start of wave 3 to the end of wave 3 is sitting at $97,000 plus. If that level is hit, you're literally invalidating the big impulsive move from all-time high, and you need to start thinking of the wave to the downside as a corrective structure. In this case, we would have to label an ABC, where the movement down from all-time high is clearly a very powerful impulsive move. Then you got this sideways corrective structure potentially finishing in a sideways, WXY, or even a running flat could be fitted in this zone. Not the most beautiful, but it has to be a valid count if you hit $97,000, which is invalidating the ultimate impulsive move to the downside. So yes, there is potential of being the low here. This is why if we look for long setups a few days ago at $84,000 range, guys, there is a chance of having a higher low. It's all about managing your trade and having good risk management and understanding the bullish potential that there is out there, okay? Very important as a trader. We need to be pretty neutral as we do get new information. Now, with this new information, I have to say, we're not out of the woods just yet. I know this pump is going to be exciting because when we get a pump, bulls get excited. When we get a dump, the bears get excited, right? We need to understand that we're coming into a very critical area for the bears that they need to defend. 94, 95, they need to defend this area. And yes, there is still many bearish scenarios where the price could really reject from here, okay, and start dumping in the next coming days. We'll be breaking down the 1 hourly time frame right away. But just to let you know, this is a very, very strong zone of resistance that the bears want to defend, okay? As I explained, we have the anchored VWAP from that major pivot lower high. There's that weekly naked point of control. So there is a lot going on in this area, also considering Elliot wave theory, which is that 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Fourth wave, this could still be a 3-wave structure, okay? Very important, muy importante to understand, right? Don't get too excited as of yet for a full-on reversal, guys. So let's break down the 1 hourly time frame where we do have this structure right over here. We had a few scenarios, right, throughout the last few days. Obviously, the bearish one here locally has been invalidated, where we were looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth wave needs to reject from this zone, guys. If it does not reject and we have this fair value gap, stay away. We had a box right there that was a danger zone for any shorts. Stay away, right? Don't do any of that, add to the short position or any of that nonsense, because you will get wrecked eventually, right? I'm talking for myself here, but talking as a educational way, right? Understanding the danger zones, right? So right now with this pump, okay, we need to have a few alternatives, right? What is the scenario? Let's go through the bullish one, right? Just because people might be feeling a bit bullish here. All right, let's go through the bullish case, which is you have a wave 1 all the way up here. There's several ways of counting this as an impulse. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extended 5th wave. All of this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extended 1 wave. You know, there is several ways, not the most beautiful ways of counting this as an impulse, but there is a way. You have that clear 3-wave move down here. It's crystal clear right now, right? Once you get that pump and breaking the invalidation, you can obviously see that that's a 3-wave structure and you realize the danger zones. So what if this is a wave 1, wave 2, and this is your wave 1 development, right? Which looks pretty impulsive, let's be honest. You got your stacked 1 and 2s, or your wave 1 and 2, your 3rd wave, your 4th wave, and now you're finishing off here with this 5th wave, right? You got that last little momentum with decreasing volume, which is eventually giving you clear signs that this pump could be over soon, right? It could be over soon when you get that big move up, and then the wave 4 and wave 5, right? You're looking for the price to really kind of top out in this region, at least in the short term, right? So that's what's happening currently at this moment. Now, the most important thing is eyeing the movement to the downside. If we start correcting from this zone, in the next coming days, we need to analyze very carefully if it is going to be looking overlappy and very corrective, right? Where it's a 3-wave structure, it might be a sideways complex WXY, but overall, you need to see overlap on the waves to detect if it is going to be a possible corrective structure. The most bullish case scenario inevitably is going to be that 1, 2, 1, 2, and throughout the next coming days, we're looking for that explosive 3rd wave going to much higher levels in the next coming weeks. So that is something that we'll be talking about in today's live stream, guys, in the next few hours, give or take 4 or 5 hours from this video update. So here it's about being patient. Let's see how the movement down develops throughout the next coming hours and next couple of days to detect, to see if it could be a corrective structure and we could speculate on a movement up. Now, as mentioned, on the higher time frame, the downtrend is still pretty much intact. The impulsive move to the downside is still intact. Guys, we have to say that the downtrend is still intact until we hit above $97,000. Now, bearish case scenarios, right? You know, bearish case scenarios, there are a few of them. You got the potential WXY, okay, which is I have to say, it's not the most beautiful scenario, but it is a valid count. Now, this movement to the upside looks impulsive. Now, if you were to move down aggressively, all right, people will actually be confused because the movement up looks impulsive. Even though you have an impulsive move to the upside, you need to have bearish, brutal bearish case scenarios because people will not understand that, hey, we formed a 5-wave structure here. How come we are moving down very aggressively and the entire pump has been reversed? Well, that is where you come in with complex WXY structures, which is not the greatest looking one based on timing a little bit. Your Y wave is a little bit more longer than your wave W, not too much, just about double, bit more than double the time, which is totally which is totally fine. Okay, the moment it starts extending to 4 times longer than your wave W, it's when it looks messy and the probabilities significantly decrease. But in this case, you do have a zigzag move to the upside, a running triangle in your wave X, and here you have a very, very large flat, okay, where you have a 3-wave structure in your A wave, 3-wave in your B wave, and now obviously that very aggressive pump to take the highs of your A wave, right, where you are looking for the price really to top out in this region, 94, 95K zone, okay? Now, obviously, after this movement, what you would be expecting is some pretty aggressive moves down in impulsive waves, right? Looking at the 15-minute, 5-minute time frame. We'll be trying to analyze the situation on the live stream here, okay, with a little bit more clarity, going more into detail on the lower time frames and where some opportunities could be lying, right? So that is the bearish case scenario, sideways WXY, where you're looking for the price to top out here in this impulse. Now, it is an impulse. However, it could be an impulse of a flat of your Y wave, where you have a zigzag up, running triangle in X, and then a flat here, which can be very, very confusing, right? This can ultimately reverse the entire pump. The potential is there. So that's why it's crucial on the bullish case scenario to at some point, right, the pump is going to end, right? Wherever it ends, it doesn't really matter. At some point, it is going to end. And at some point, we are going to reverse. And it's incredibly crucial to study that reversal for the bullish case to see if it is going to be a potential double 1-2, right? If we start overlapping here in this correction, it's going to be looking pretty interesting to get that breakout after this correction to the upside to claim the local highs at a bare minimum, right? Now, what is the other bearish case scenario? Well, just a simple ABC movement to the upside, where you're looking for this movement up as an impulse, a 3-wave corrective structure, and your impulsive move here to finish your C wave, right? Would be a shallow C wave, just slightly getting above the A wave, which is very, very much possible as long as you're defending the $97,000, which is your higher time frame wave 4 invalidation, as explained at the beginning of the video, right? So this is a zone where the price could top out when we believe in a 3-wave, just a regular ABC movement, right? 3-wave structure. Things to pay attention, right? Now, obviously, we need to analyze in the next coming hours in the stream where we at and what are the different waves that could happen, okay? Not much more has to be said in this video update. We're just extending here. You know, we could be ending that wave 5 throughout the next coming hours, right? Just chopping here at the 94, 95K zone, all right? And maybe get that reversal in the next coming hours. Guys, thank you very much for joining. This is just a major higher time frames, update. Today, later on the stream, we'll be going through 15-minute time frame and going through the waves and where we could see some next opportunities lying on the chart. Thank you, and I'll see you later in the live stream.